And welcome downtown to Omaha, Nebraska, where Marquette and Creighton are taking over the city tonight. The number 9 Marquette Golden Eagles and the 12th ranked Creighton Blue Jays with a dandy on tap here in Omaha as Creighton tries to add another season to those banners. The top 2 teams in the Big East Conference standings coming in. This one about to get underway here in Omaha. Alongside Shannon Smolinski, I'm Thor Tripp. It's the biggest match of the Big East Conference this season. 2 top 12 teams, and if that's not enough to motivate you, the winner could get a championship here in Omaha.
Yeah, it's going to be a sold-out crowd here in Omaha. It's going to be a wonderful atmosphere, and we're really looking forward to some high-level volleyball tonight.
Yeah, Allie Barber defines that for Marquette coming in. She's been fantastic all season long.
And she has. She's your current offensive player of the week for Big East, and they rely solely on her to get the job done offensively for the Golden Eagles.
And defensively, Creighton relying on Brittany Witt once again.
Last time they matched up, she had 35 digs, and Creighton's going to need another really great performance out of Witt tonight for another win here in Omaha.
Yeah, a win could equal a share of the regular season championship here in Omaha tonight. The Golden Eagles and Blue Jays coming up next here on the Big East Digital Network.
My parents never taught me anything about managing money.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
We just decided we didn't want debt any longer.
I didn't realize how easy investing could be.
I'm picking companies that I believe in.
I think SoFi Money is amazing.
Thank you, SoFi.
SoFi, thank you. We love you.
And we're back here in Omaha, DJ Sokol Arena, playing host to a top 12 showdown between the Marquette Golden Eagles and the Creighton Blue Jays. Starting lineups just finishing up right now, and this will be the 22nd matchup all time between these 2 programs. And Shannon, none more highly anticipated than this one here tonight.
You're right. It's just going to be such an exciting matchup between both teams here that we have tonight here in Omaha. Last time they matched up, a 5-set thriller at Marquette, and we're really excited to see just really high-level volleyball going at it tonight.
Yeah, Creighton has won this matchup each of the last 6 times between these 2 programs, but tonight, potentially a different story. Coach Tice is just 1-13 against Creighton's Kirsten Bernthal Booth in their history together. So searching for win number 2 tonight as you see Allie Barber there, number 10. She'll be, as we mentioned in the open, a huge player to watch for Marquette tonight.
Yeah, Creighton's going to really need to slow her down on the defensive side. Coach Tice talked about earlier this week how Creighton's serve and pass game and their defense is really what makes it stressful for Marquette. And so Barber is the one that Creighton is really going to have to stop tonight and really going to have a great defensive performance against.
Yeah, some adjustments to be made on both sides of this matchup. As you see Madeline Cole starting setter there for the Creighton Blue Jays. She has some different options to work through here this time around without Erica Kostelak in the mix.
Yeah, it'll be a different matchup tonight as you have one of their players that they've relied a lot on this season, and so that matchup is going to be interesting for Cole as she mixes her tempo out tonight.
And we're underway, and Jayla Zimmerman starts things off with a kill for Creighton.
Jayla's, that's going to be one that's going to be interesting to watch tonight as, she typically is swinging on the right side pin, and tonight she'll be on that outside pin a little bit more. So we'll see how that works for Creighton.
Well, Zimmerman back to serve for the Blue Jays. Early action for Allie Barber. Nice dig by Brittany Witt. As we mentioned, she'll be as important as ever in this matchup. Barber again unable to put it away, and Britt saves it after a great effort from Zimmerman. Again, the Jays keep it alive, but Zimmerman unable to get it over the net this time. A great effort that time by Grace Nelson to keep things alive, but they weren't able to salvage the point.
Yeah, that was incredible defense on both sides of the net. But what I saw mostly is both teams are really trying to go after each other's high hands. So really looking at the blockers and really trying to find their high hands, something that both teams are really going to want to do with that big of a presence in the front row.
Hannah Vandenberg causing problems with her serve. Marquette now in system for Barber, stuffed but kept alive. Play at the net, won by Barber, and Marquette gets out in front.
What stands out to me is the physicality that both teams are coming out here tonight with. They're really doing a good job of showing their strength and their presence at the net, both on the blocking side as well as the offensive side as well.
Vandenberg back to serve again for the Golden Eagles. Cole sets up Ballinger, who misses long on the swing. First action for her.
Coach Booth talked today about how the serve-receive game for their team was going to be something that was really important. And so in that last play right there, you saw that ball was out of system, and that's something that if you're the Blue Jays, you're definitely going to want to clean up for this match. Zimmerman
misses long with her receive on cue, and Marquette unable to take advantage of it. Back to Barber on the left side, blocked to the corner. Nice effort by Madeline Cole and Megan Ballinger.
That's got to feel great if you're Cole, to be able to help your team out in any way, and as a setter to be able to shut down one of the biggest offensive players tonight. That just has to feel great for her.
And she's been active on the block from the setter position this season, which is unique to this Creighton team.
Yeah, Madeline is she truly is just a servant of her team. Whatever she can do to help, whether it's on the defensive side, the blocking side, she's a phenomenal server. She definitely does a great job.
Keely Davis with her first swing of the night, and it's down.
And another great shot that you saw of Keely, just doing a really good job of having the vision of seeing that the blockers in front of her were not up early enough, and she was able to find that high hand and go for a tool, and that's just an easy way to get a point on the board for Creighton.
Tough spot, great placement there by Hope Wirch for Marquette, and they're back in front after a low line drive serve off of McKenny Krause's hand.
When we talk about vision with that last one with Keely Davis, that was tremendous vision there by Wirch to see that she had three blockers defending her and to just find that easy spot in zone 2 to score.
Cole with the dump set, and we're all knotted up at 4.
Again, how can I find a way to serve my team, whether it's, being an offensive weapon, distributing the volleyball, to be able to have an offensive threat from your setter is huge. It just really keeps your blockers on their toes.
And Cole's been tremendous from the service line this year as well for the Jays, the most consistent behind the line for Creighton. Barber outside, unable to keep it alive is Zimmerman, and she gets another kill.
And Jones, she's just a phenomenal player. The transfer from Auburn, she does a really good job of running that slide. She's very effective with that, and that's something that Marquette, if they're able to stay in system and be able to spread the ball out so they don't have to solely rely on Barber, they're going to really be trying to find options there for Jones like they did.
As serve off the arm of Keely Davis and out for an ace.
That was another thing that Coach Booth talked about in discussing Marquette and what they did well was they're a really good serving team. So just to be able to settle down and find a way to keep your team in rhythm from serve receive is going to be important.
Huge swing there from Naomi Hickman and out of bounds for a point to Creighton.
And what I would really love to see tonight is just a really awesome performance from the middles. I think whether it's Creighton or whether it's Marquette, whoever is going to use their middles, I really think is going to be the one that's going to walk away with a victory tonight. That if you're using your middles, it's typically you're passing well and you're serving well.
Yeah, just the sheer power that Hickman brings to the lineup in the middle is really impactful for this Jays team. Jones again trying for the slide play, but unable to do it. Keely Davis over the net. Wirch now misses way long, and we're even up at 6.
She was hoping to try to see if she could find the high hand of Annika Welty, and it looks like it was just a little bit too high for her to challenge, but it looks like you can see it right here. It just went just a little bit high over Welty and Hickman's hands.
Davis serves to the back row. Picked up by the Jays. Back row running attack there for Davis, but Creighton able to get back in rhythm here for Jayla Zimmerman off the block.
And tonight it'll be interesting. You know, this first set, they're really trying to figure out, you know, how the flow of the game is going to go. You know, Creighton has a completely different lineup than what they showed, you know, last time they met. And Marquette has, you know, a lot of the same pieces. So, you know, it'll be really interesting to see how they try to find their game plan and their tempo attacking each other tonight.
Jones on the slide. She says there was a touch. The officials disagree, and the Jays are up by 2.
It looks like we might get a challenge here from Coach Tice as he, you know, is looking at did it really hit the antenna, did it hit the tape, or did it hit the hand? Sounds like, you know, he's asking did the ball, you know, hit the hand versus the tape.
Yeah, you can see the immediate reaction from Jones. She was shocked at the original call. Officials will huddle and talk about it, but you mentioned Jones. She's been fantastic as a senior transfer from Auburn. Her hitting percentage has been extremely high. She's second on the team in blocks so far this year, so really an added presence for this squad that they really have needed this year.
Yeah, you have to have balance. You have to be able to share the load offensively. And if you can have somebody that has not only that leadership being a senior, but also being able to have that presence offensively as a middle, that's something that's really important for Marquette this season.
So Coach Tice will challenge the call officially now after the conversation between the officials here. And Tice doesn't want to fall behind here with this big home crowd we have in Omaha. This is an important match for his team, especially as they move forward toward the postseason.
Yeah, this is definitely a big matchup. And you know, they talk about, you know, what's coming up in front of them, whether it be with the NCAA tournament. But, you know, they still in front of them, they have the Big East title on the line, as well as, you know, their championships next weekend. So, you know, just finding a way to get a win tonight is definitely going to be something that will be a great win for Coach Tice.
Now, you saw the angle just a moment ago. What you're looking for is that left pinky of Jayla Zimmerman. And it almost looks like the ball goes under Zimmerman's hand between the net. Right here is the view that you can probably see the best. You're looking at that left pinky there.
And I think when the play was live, there was movement, you know, and I think the movement might have came from the ball hitting the tape, and I think Coach Tice thought that maybe that might have caught her hand as well. But with that footage, I don't know if it would be conclusive to overturn as if there was any touch on that ball. Or I don't, you know, and a lot of times I don't know if they thought that maybe Keely Davis might have, you know, touched it in the back row as well. But it looks like in that footage that there's not any footage to overturn it.
Yeah, the call will stand as it originally was on the floor. So the Jays maintain that 8-6 lead. Coach Kirsten Bernthal-Booth excited about the result of that one. And Keely Davis back to serve now for the Blue Jays. Jones with a quick touch on the line, and the Jays will be up 3.
Yeah, just passed that ball a little bit too tight for Rose to handle on her way down. She just went right over that center line. So again, all comes back down to serve and pass, trying to not keep your setter in trouble. Keeping her off the net is going to be important.
And Davis has gotten better from the service line throughout this season. 28 aces on the year. An important piece of her game as well. Brittany Witt keeps it up. Zimmerman over the net to the Golden Eagles. Great defensive prowess there by the senior. And Naomi Hickman into the mix there with Annika Welty for another big defensive play for the Jays.
And that has to feel good for Welty as well, you know, being able to contribute to her teams by finding a way to slow that ball down and be able to line up with your hitter, match up one-on-one, take that angle away. With her being a lefty, she really doesn't have much options. So taking away that cross-court angle is what she did there.
Blocked just out of bounds there as Wirtz collects another kill for Marquette. That was a big momentum swing there on that play.
Yeah, if Marquette was to be down, 6-11 to Creighton, that's not something that, you would want to fall too far behind if you're Marquette here in set 1.
Wirtz back to serve, as dangerous as they come. 50 aces on the season to lead the Golden Eagles. From the back row now, Wirtz. Cole sets up Zimmerman down the line. Nowhere to go. Madeline Cole unable to keep it alive.
Yeah, what a great effort there by Cole, but Kuntz did just a really good job of seeing that angle shot was open, and it might not have been the cleanest swing, and it kind of, rolled off the tape a little bit, but it's a kill in the books, and it's an easy way to find that corner, and I'm sure she's going to learn that spot's open even more as she goes throughout the match.
A service error by Wirtz on that one, and Creighton back in control with Brittany Witt at the line. Witt over 100 career aces for the Blue Jays. Set up again off the block and kept alive for the Jays. In the middle for Ballinger, unable to put it away. Another shot at it here for Welty, and this one's down. Annika Welty helping the Jays regain control in set number 1.
Cole's doing a really good job of spreading that ball out, whether it be to Welty, whether it be to the middles, or whether it be to her pin. She's doing a really good job of moving that ball around, which is making it really hard for Marquette to defend as they're not able to set up 2 blockers on a hitter.
Big swing there and down for Jones once again. She's been a force to be reckoned with at the net for Marquette.
And she has. That slide is deadly. I mean, when you're able to run that in that tempo that fast, you're typically always going to go up against a one-on-one situation there.
Cole to Zimmerman. Out of bounds off Madeline Cole, and another point to the Golden Eagles. Big swing by Wirtz.
Yeah, and Wirtz does just such a great job for the Golden Eagles. I mean, being your 6 rotation athlete, not only being able to keep your team in system on serve, receive, and defense and offense, she's just doing a really good job of taking the load and really spreading that out all around the floor tonight.
Yeah, another big swing there by Welty once again. She's been fantastic, showing no signs of rust after missing 22 matches earlier this season.
Yeah, and if you're Marquette, you're hoping, okay, is there any way that we can find a mismatch here, find a way where, maybe they're not going to use all their pieces offensively and we're able to stack and go one way. And Welty's doing a really good job of saying, no, you're not going to be able to go just one way.
Yeah, she's played back-to-back matches after missing 22 straight earlier in the season, and she's been effective early on. This one out of bounds for a point Marquette's way.
Yeah, and it sounded almost as if she might have gotten a touch off that, but as their reaction, they didn't seem to think so. But like I spoke earlier in the set, that, the physicality of both teams is really showing. I mean, Barber, 6'5", these girls are just tremendous athletes, and the amount of force that they're putting offensively on the ball and what they're doing blocking-wise. I mean, there's just so much physicality on the floor tonight.
And right on cue, Megan Ballinger delivers from her part.
Yeah, I mean, just another tremendous job by Cole of just moving that ball around. I mean, it's just so hard if you're Marquette to defend when you have so many weapons that are hitting from multiple positions.
Zimmerman on the serve for the Jays. Outside for Barber and down to the corner. Splitting the D.
Yeah, I mean, she even had two blockers in front of her 4 hands, but she is contacting the ball so high at 6'5". She's leading the Big East in kills. She's 14th in the NCAA. I mean, she definitely is able to play very high above the net.
Ballinger with the roll shot, unsuccessful. Barber back to the middle, back to the scoring column.
If you're Creighton, you're going to have to find a way to slow her down. And if you're Marquette, you're looking at this might be a long match. If you're going to go 5 sets, you can't just rely on the one hitter. Otherwise, you're going to put a big load on her.
Yeah, Barber has carried that load throughout her career at Marquette. And so far, Jayla Zimmerman helping carry the Jays to an early lead in set number 1. 15-13 Creighton in front of a big home crowd at DJ Sokol Arena. More from Omaha next.
My parents never taught me anything about managing money.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
We just decided we didn't want debt any longer.
I didn't realize how easy investing could be.
I'm picking companies that I believe in.
I think SoFi money is amazing.
thank you, SoFi.
SoFi, thank you. We love you.
Hallelujah.
And this is just one night. You should see what we do during the day. Marquette University. Be the difference.
And welcome back to Omaha. Ryan Tice in his 6th season on the Marquette sideline. 144 wins, just 50 losses, has really helped maintain the level of play in Milwaukee. And Kirsten Bernthal Booth, the winningest head coach in Creighton history in her 17th season. 368 wins. They've been in the top 25 each of the last 8 years. Certainly hoping that tonight could go a long way for their 6th straight conference championship during the regular season. Serve long to start us out here in the second half of set number 1. Back to serve, Martha Konovadoff for the Golden Eagles.
Controlling unforced errors is going to be something that's important. You know, as you get halfway through set 1, you don't want to lose focus as to what your game plan is, and attacking that with discipline and being aggressive is something that, you know, controlling those unforced errors is going to be big here as we close in on closing up this first set.
The Golden Eagles even things up there. Keely Davis had to go with the left hand there. A little bit off kilter. She's
looks like
in disagreement with the call there off the pin.
Yeah, almost as if Coach Booth was wondering if the antenna was moving prior to the ball being contacted, as if the blocker got it with her hand on her way up.
And the ace for Konovadoff puts the Golden Eagles back in front. Ace number 20 on the season for her. But Marquette coming out of that first time out there on the media side with a vengeance here, and Konovadoff leading the way from the service line.
Yeah, serving is going to be something that's going to be really big here these next couple points. I mean, it's just a big momentum change. You have a missed serve coming out of a timeout from Creighton, and then you come back with an ace there by Konovadoff. It's something that it's just a huge momentum shift with behind the service line. So if you're Creighton, finding a way to settle down and being able to get your team back in system is going to be something that they want to do. And if you're Marquette coming out, it's how can we do a great job behind the service line, as well as how can we do a great job within our blocking assignment. So if we're going to do a good job of putting pressure on the passers, what are we doing in the front row with my 3 blockers to make sure that we are finding our blocking assignments, finding our hitters, not losing those assignments. That way we can be able to defend and get some good block touches at the net.
And defensively, both teams have really been pretty good. We've seen a lot of long rallies so far here tonight. Neither team hitting 200 on the night in set number 1. So that feeling out process and some of those adjustments being made here as we get kind of to crunch time here in set number 1.
Yeah, you have such quality hitters on the floor tonight, and they have such a wide range of different shots. And so just kind of filling out, like you said, you know, what's open, you know, going for the high line or going for the cut, and just trying to learn what's open and feel that out throughout the set.
Zimmerman from the back row. Can't put it away. Barbara will try her hand. Can't do it for Marquette either. Keely Davis into the block. Great job by Hope Wirch.
And same thing, you know, just finding your blocking assignment. And that was a great job there by Marquette. They were able to line up, put 4 hands on Keely Davis. But if you're Keely, you have to do a little bit better job to find a high hand or a hard angle to be able to find a way to score.
And early in the match, she did do that and had success off the high hands. And this time she decided, we're going to go back to the well and pound it off the block.
Yep.
And it was successful the second time around.
You're right. It's just, you know, it's making sure that you're keeping that in the front of your brain of what is it that I'm exactly attacking. We can't just go up and swing. We have to really be definitive of what we're trying to do with the ball.
Cole on the serve. Well handled by Konovadoff. That gives Wirch an opportunity to terminate. Big swing for number 8.
Yeah, that was a really big swing. She saw that she had Keely Davis got completely sucked in with the middles and with Barber, and it was, great vision there by the senior setter and Speckman to realize that Wirch had no blockers, and he had no blockers and just going straight down that line for an easy kill.
Yeah, Wirch was a preseason All Big East pick for a reason. She is able to do it all for the Golden Eagles, and that's been on full display here tonight as Welty tips over the net and down. Big night for Annika Welty continues.
She is. She's doing a great job for the Blue Jays, finding a way to score, whether it be, blocked, whether it be, a clean swing, or even right here, just realizing that it's a little bit too tight to the net, and if I swing, I'm probably going to swing into a hand, so I'm just going to see the floor and tip it right over those four hands.
Davis back to serve. Jones on the slide play. Kept alive out of bounds and stuffed by Hickman in the middle. Welty in on it as well, and the Jays are back to even.
Doing your job, whether you're Marquette, whether you're Creighton, doing your job. And doing your job is so many things. There's so many things that entails, whether it's serving, whether it's blocking assignments. And Annika is doing a great job tonight of doing her job as a blocker and really doing a good job with any opportunity that she's been given tonight.
Nice save. A serve by Davis, but unable to capitalize are the Jays as Zimmerman misses long.
Yeah, and Zimmerman's trying to find those high hands, and whether she's overrunning the ball. It's typically when that ball goes wide, as your hitters are overrunning the ball and they lose the vision of where their blockers are, as well as the contact point is going to make that ball sail wide.
Wirch serves Davis. Zimmerman now to the back corner and long.
And she's trying all those shots. She's trying your cross body. She's trying different angles. But when you're that far off of the net, it's tough to do. So Creighton's going to need to do a better job of slowing this really great serving team in Marquette down.
A big point here in set number one is Welty stuffed at the net. And now missing long is Hickman.
Looks like they're going to catch a lucky break as they caught Marquette in the net, which it was the right call. Jones got the net on her way down. So that's a lucky break there for Creighton.
Yeah, it's a big swing when you think about 5 points to the end of this set, potentially being down 3 or being down 1. A massive moment in set number 1. This one long from Brittany Witt, and Marquette back in the driver's seat late.
And those are the unforced errors that you're not going to want to see if you're Coach Booth. And same thing with Witt. I mean, she's done a great job of being a senior leader, so I'm sure that's not something that she wants to see in herself as well.
Jones to serve for the Golden Eagles now. Down the middle for Jayla Zimmerman. A big swing and a big moment.
Yeah, I mean, what I really like to see there from Zimmerman is the fact that she, wasn't just swinging on the outside. So there they run her a 2-ball, which is in the middle, and she's able to get the one-on-one, and she just does such a great job of hitting multiple angles. So I really like that call there by Madeline Cole to run her out of there.
Down off the block this time is Vandenberg, and Marquette inches closer.
And Vandenberg, she does a great job offensively for the Golden Eagles. I mean, only being a freshman, she definitely doesn't play like a freshman. I mean, she has the physicality as if she was, an upperclassman, but she also does a great job with her range and hitting a bunch of different shots, whether it be on the outside or the right side.
Cole now, tough battle at the net. The call will go the Golden Eagles' way. Cole's had a couple opportunities at the net here tonight and been unable to be successful. The first time she didn't think she had a defender on her, and she kind of just tipped it, and now this time unsuccessful as well. A little bit eager there on the touch.
Yeah, and I don't know where, it looks like she caught it on her way down, but typically when that ball is tight at the net and you're doing any of those jousts, it's usually a timing. You don't want to be the first one to touch it. You typically want to be the second one to touch it, and she would have won it if she wouldn't have caught it on her way down the net, but she was definitely, really doing a good job of reading that and really wanting to win it. Unfortunately, her body just took her into the net.
So a big point here as Marquette has a chance to take control. Just 2 points from clinching set number 1, and that's been really important in this series specifically. And on the road, Marquette has had success against ranked teams, 2 wins over ranked teams this season, so they aren't going to shy away from these moments.
No, they're definitely not. They're a team, they're a top 10 team, number 9 in the country. They have experience on the floor with their seniors and their juniors. But the margin of error as we get, at this level with the top 12 matchup, the margin of error is just so small. So it's just those little details. So, if you're Marquette, you're wanting to say, hey, how are we going to be able to right away be aggressive behind the service line? And if you're Creighton, you're finding a way of saying, all right, let's sharpen up our details, because the margin of error is it's just so small.
Lauren Speckman back to serve for Marquette. She's been a great leader in instilling the culture that Coach Tice has preached and relied on so much, especially this season. And it was good to hear him talk about her. She doesn't get all the accolades and recognition as some of her senior class teammates, but she's been really important for the Golden Eagles this year.
Yeah, to be able to have somebody that's really steady, almost like a golden retriever that you're able to rely on is, you have to be able to have that balance in your DNA of your program. So, everybody has one, and if you're able to have one that's able to do a lot on the floor, that's key.
Big swing there from Ballinger is kept alive. Good defense continues here for these two teams. Zimmerman now with the tip from the back row and down. Big moment for the Jays.
That is a big moment for the Jays. And out of that timeout, you wonder if Coach Booth said, hey, this isn't going to be easy. This is something that we're going to really have to work for, because that defensive performance there was definitely, you could tell they were ready to work for it. Yeah,
great effort there just to keep it alive on both sides. You had some big swings, a big dig from Brittany Witt earlier in this point on Allie Barber cross court, and Barber had a lot of success with that angle, I guess, so far in set number 1.
Yeah, the grit and the want to of defense is something that you really have to make that choice. I mean, it's definitely a mindset. So if you're Creighton, you really want to make sure that you're really checking into those details of how can I do my job on the defensive side of the ball, because that's something that is just so huge.
Yeah, Jayla Zimmerman has been huge for the Blue Jays so far. You see her get it down from the back row that time. 6 kills to lead all players so far in set number 1. She's been relied upon heavily. 16 swings already in set number 1.
Right, and with her leading the pack for the Blue Jays with 6 kills, I mean, she's had a lot of missed opportunities that have just gone wide. So for her, learning from those 16 swings of how can I turn those into a point is something that they're gonna need for her to sharpen up just a little bit more.
And Annika Welty with 3 kills in set number 1, hitting .600. A nice change of pace from her last time out. She hit negative .059 in a win for the Jays their last time on the court. So as she starts to shake that rust off and get back to her true form, that really helps Creighton in terms of their parity offensively. Serve from Zimmerman now is kept up, and this time going down. Vandenberg with the kill, and it's set point for the Golden Eagles in number 1.
Yeah, Vandenberg did a really good job of finding that seam. Finding a tool and finding a seam is offensively what you're trying to go after if you're a hitter.
Grace Nelson keeps it alive. Cole on the scramble to Keely Davis. Tough spot, but the Jays will get another chance at it here. Zimmerman from the back row denied. The rally continues. This time for Barber, off the block. Still alive for Zimmerman again from the back row. Overpass opportunity for Ballinger, unable to connect. Here we go again. Davis to the back corner. And Barber will tip into the middle. Chance to reset for the Jays. Big swing here from Davis to the back row. Stays alive. Barber takes a shot at it. Who can finish it? Wirtz now takes a shot. And the dump set try from Madeline Cole is unsuccessful. Wirtz on the roll. Grace Nelson comes in to keep it alive for the Jays. Off of Nelson this time and out of bounds to finish it. What a rally to finish set number 1. And the Golden Eagles take the first.
What an incredible rally. I mean, that was a wonderful job on both sides of the net to be able to keep their composure defensively.
So the Jays will have to come from behind at home. Marquette, 9th in the country and ahead in the match.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
I felt like I was going to spend my whole adult life paying this off.
Thanks to SoFi, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
As of 12 p.m. today, I am debt-free.
We have no debt, we don't owe anybody anything, and it's fantastic.
Well, fans here in Omaha treated to a heck of a set number one between the Golden Eagles and the Blue Jays. The visitors take the first 25-22, and that's important when you look at the history of this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, each set is going to come down to the wire. Each point is going to make a huge difference. You know, that's what they saw last time with that tight 5-set match that they had at Marquette, and you know, that's what we came here tonight in Omaha expecting. It is going to be a battle.
Yeah, the Jays won set number one, and now that goes to show the success that this series has had. They took the second as well, and really were in command throughout the first two sets, on the verge of sweeping out in Milwaukee.
Yeah, I mean, to be able to go, you know, on the road and to be able to be up 2-0, you know, that's something that speaks, you know, volumes, especially with two quality programs like that.
And originally it looked like on this play that Creighton had finished it off and swept, but upon further review, your officials conferred and realized, well, that's not how it actually went. She says, yep, my bad, we'll play on, and Marquette did a nice job showing resilience to battle back and win set number 3 in extra points.
Yeah, I mean, to be able to get that call reversed, to be able to then close that out with a win, and then to be able to take set 3, and then, you know, going into set 4, and then to close set 4 out, resiliency is definitely the word.
Yeah, you saw Creighton so that close to sweeping, and instead you end up losing set 4, 31-19. So after all that effort, it comes down to set 5, and the Jays controlled it from the start.
And it doesn't surprise. I mean, just like we saw here in set 1 within that last rally, I mean, it's going to be a marathon. It's not going to be a sprint. So whoever can control the unforced errors is going to be huge.
And back here in Omaha, we got a great one. Set 2 just about to get underway in matchup number 2 of the season between these two programs. As we alluded to earlier, it's the first top 12 matchup that DJ Sokol Arena has ever seen. Fans on hand here witnessing history and hoping to witness a Creighton comeback against these Golden Eagles who jumped out to take the first.
Yeah, what an incredible set that was. And, you know, towards the end of that set, what I realized is both teams kind of went away from their middles a little bit. So if I'm both coaches, you know, especially with Coach Booth, I would, you know, try to find a way to, you know, let Cole know that we have to find a way to get our middles involved.
And Cole will start us off in the second here from the service line. Little off balance there from the Golden Eagles, and Keely Davis takes advantage. Big swing to start out set number 2.
Just the details, the details in every rally and the details within, you know, every point and every kill, and the details even with that last one, you know, Keely saw just a little bit of room between her blockers, and she went for it and found that seam for a kill.
Cole back to serve once again for the Jays. Another play at the net. Tight, but kept alive. Zimmerman from the back row now gets it over. Another opportunity for Barber, and she delivers.
Yeah, she's just a force. You know, it's the Barber effect that Marquette has going for them, for the Golden Eagles. She just does a tremendous job of contacting the ball so high above the net, whether it's in system or out of system. She just has such a heavy arm, and it's just really hard to defend.
And Barber and Wirch heavily relied upon in the early going here in Omaha. Davis as well. This one off the fingertips and down.
And the last time they met, Keeley had just, she went into that match with a career high of 14 kills in a match and left Marquette with a career high of 31. And so for her tonight, the Blue Jays are going to need a little bit more of productivity from her offensively.
Yeah, she was the AVCA Player of the Week nationally after that win at Marquette. And it really kind of skyrocketed her freshman campaign into, being more of a heavily relied upon outside for Creighton.
Yeah, you almost heard a lot of, whispers upon the Big East coaches, when Cloth and Winters graduated, it was like a sigh of relief. And then here comes, a kid in Keeley Davis that you're starting to see the same thing. And it did, you're right. I mean, it completely catapulted her into the player that she has become for Creighton over these last few weeks.
Gwynn Jones with a big swing there to put Marquette back in front. A tough serve opportunity, unable to corral it as Martha Kanavadoff serves up another ace.
Marquette's doing a really good job of being aggressive. They're not just putting the ball in a certain spot, but they're actually going after it with a lot of velocity. I mean, they're doing a good job of putting a lot of pace on that ball, which is just hard to defend.
Point to the Jays here off contact at the net.
And it really, it's what it comes down to. I mean, Witt came back with that, answered with a really great pass, which was able to keep them in system, and that's where you're going to be able to get your matchups with your one-on-one. So it's really important. It's kind of like a broken record when coaches speak about serve and pass, but it is just so crucial.
Yeah, a big play at the net there for the Jays as Ballinger gets into the mix defensively. She's really controlled things at the net for Creighton this season, and offensively she's been an impact player throughout as well. Overpass opportunity now for the Jays. Zimmerman gets it down and Creighton's back in front.
It was like a want-to. That ball was, a want-to by Witt to be able to pick that ball up, and that was a want-to there by Zimmerman. I mean, that was a really high ball, really hard, and she just went up as high as she possibly could to find a way to score.
And coming back from the service line to make that play. Great vision from a senior who's seen it all. Gwynn Jones with a big swing as well. And we're back tied.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see here on both sides how each team makes adjustments. 'Cause I think that's going to really speak volumes as we get into set 2 and set 3 of who is making adjustments. I mean, Jones has been completely unstoppable on the slide. So if you're Creighton, those outsides have to do a better job of slowing that down.
Zimmerman with a big swing off the block there. Creighton certainly not playing it passive in set number 2. They've taken some big hacks.
Yeah, you have to go after it. I mean, you're not going to, win this match with this level of teams by playing it safe. You're going to have to, just go after it.
And well long off the hand of Welty there from the service line. Something that's really difficult to feel comfortable with when you haven't been there in game action as much as she has this season. Missing all that time, you're almost going to see it at the service line more than anywhere else.
Right, and with Coach Booth, I'm sure they do a lot of serve and pass at practice, but there's something different when you get into an atmosphere like this, and with the stage being as bright, it's not the same.
Well, Ballinger misses long. Crowd not satisfied with the call. I think Megan a little surprised with herself maybe for missing on that opportunity. This time, no such issues.
And that's just where you have to do your job. And Grace Nelson did a really good job of finding a way to get Ballinger in system, because if you're Creighton, you have to be able to find a way to get productivity from your middles in system off of serve receive, being able to get a one and done kill.
And Ballinger is consistent as it gets. 88 straight matches coming into tonight that she's been on the floor. She's seen it all, and now she's doing it all defensively as well.
Yeah, I mean, just the little details that we talked about earlier, finding a way to help your team. I think both seniors in Cole and Ballinger do a really good job of finding a way to do their job as seniors, not only leading by example, but leading by their voice as well.
Zimmerman goes long for the service ace. Great placement, putting the defender Konovadoff in a tight spot there at the back line.
Yeah, and if I was Konovadoff, I would have thought that that ball was going out too. I mean, that ball completely hit a wall and dropped. It definitely put some weight on it.
Tight to the net for Gwen Jones. Down the net, rides and out of bounds.
Yeah, and we'll see if he challenges. I know he was upset that there wasn't a block call earlier, but I think it was the right call. I think it caught that tape a little bit longer, and I don't think that it hit their hand and it was able to just to roll out of bounds.
Yeah, stayed on the tape for 2 hits. Something you don't see very often. Another nice serve from Zimmerman now, and Creighton with an opportunity to take control, and Davis helps. Big point for the freshman outside.
Just mixing up your shots, you know, finding a way to tool, finding a way to do off-speed roll. That's something, like I said, both teams are going to want to make adjustments. Both teams are going to want to learn as they go throughout the match. And it was just a really smart play to be able to, you know, change up her swing and change up, you know, just making your off-blocker play defense, and is just something that was smart by Davis.
Let's take a look at some of the Big East weekly honors from some of our outstanding performances this past week. And Brittany Witt leading the way for the Blue Jays as the Big East Defensive Player of the Week. She's been outstanding again here tonight.
She has been outstanding here tonight, and she's been outstanding this whole senior season. I mean, she's really stepped up for the Blue Jays this season. You know, you can tell that when she's out there, there's just a calming presence when she's playing. She just does a really good job of balancing, you know, the floor. And
offensively, Allie Barber was the Offensive Player of the Week and leading the way again, once again, for the Golden Eagles tonight.
Yeah, coming in this season as all Big East Player of the Year, you know, she's just somebody that has that effect, that Barber effect, where she's just able to contact at such a high contact point. She's just unstoppable.
And no surprise, Keely Davis, your Freshman of the Week in the Big East Conference, 9th time this year that she's won that honor.
Yeah, it's just one week after another. Keely's finding a way to be on the board with that Freshman of the Week, and she definitely deserves it. She, like you said, she catapulted after that Marquette, and she's just been doing a really good job this season for the Blue Jays.
And she leads the Jays with 3.35 kills per set this season. So as a redshirt freshman coming in to lead the way offensively, she's done an outstanding job. Now the Jays trying to maintain their lead here early and unable to do so out of the quick timeout.
Yeah, they did a really good job of getting their blocking assignments and setting up, but unfortunately they just weren't able to keep themselves out of the net. But you know, with Marquette, they just have so many different weapons, so you just have to make sure on both sides of the net that your blocking schemes are loaded and ready.
Ballinger with a big boom, but into the block of the Golden Eagles. A nice play there by Vandenberg to get her hands up.
Yeah, that was a really good setup. What she did really good there is she just got her hands over the net. I mean, there was no angle that she wasn't going to take away. She wasn't just going to go straight up, but she really did a good job there of getting her hands over the net.
Davis with a big swing. This one won't be returned. Out of bounds into the near sellout crowd here at DJ Sokol Arena.
And it's point for point. I mean, that's what you're seeing here tonight. I mean, it's a big swing from the Blue Jays answered by a big swing or a big block by the Golden Eagles. So, you know, just controlling those little details and being able to find, you know, a rhythm and a strategy that's going to work for you and keep attacking it.
Golden Eagles trying to get it over the block, but unable to do so there. Cole with a hand on it. Now with an opportunity for Davis once again. Toward the back and out. Davis with another kill for the Jays. She's coming on strong. Very similar to what you saw in the first meeting between these two teams.
Yeah, it took her a while to get, you know, to kind of find a rhythm, and then as she got into set 2, set 3, set 4, she really just started to find a bunch of different shots.
Jays bailed out on a long serve there, but unable to control the point.
That was a smart swing there by Kuntz. I mean, what she saw there was Keely was just a little bit late on that blocking assignment. Her body was floating away and into the antenna, and so if you're able to see that as a hitter and you're able to see that that blocker is floating, to be able to use those hands for a tool, and that was a really smart play there by Kuntz to see that.
Speckman serves and Davis kills for Creighton. The freshman coming on strong here in set number 2, her 8th kill of the match. That ties her for the team lead.
Yeah, it's you know, she's doing a good job. And Cole, she's just one that she's going to find those hitters that are hot, and she's going to find a way to keep distributing the ball, but she's going to know who to go to and when to go to. And I think that's what she's doing here in this set is finding her hot hitter here in Davis.
In that first matchup, Davis had 8 kills in the first 2 sets and finished with 31. So 23 after intermission. And she's getting early to the party here tonight in Omaha.
It looks almost as if she thought she got it with one hand, but once that ball starts to spin, you know, typically, and especially if you're going up with 2 hands, so you can see she's going up here, and you'll see she gets it. She starts to go up with 2 hands. It's going to be hard to get that call when both those hands are starting to go up. Whether you get the one hand that actually contacts it or 2, it's going to be hard to overturn that.
Just from the angle, straight where the official is on that play, when you go up with 2 like that, it's a really tough placement for you to be able to see that with the naked eye. And even on replay there, our angle, you really couldn't tell if she got it with 2 hands or not.
Yeah, and especially with the way that the ball spun. I mean, there was just so much spin on that ball that it was just really hard for, you know, anybody that would disagree that that was, you know, a double contact.
Lauren Speckman visiting with the officials and letting Coach Tice know what she learned in her conversation. Tice unhappy with the call, and for good reason. A big point there earned by the Blue Jays. Tough serve off the net there from Cole, but Marquette able to keep it alive. Cole sets up Hickman now. Speckman under it. And the swing long from Barber, and Creighton with its largest lead of the night, 16-10 in set number 2. A timeout called by the Golden Eagles. Creighton in control in front of a packed house here in set number 2. More to come from the Blue Jays and their faithful on hand here at DJ Sokol Arena, coming up on the Big East Digital Network.
My parents never taught me anything about managing money.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
We just decided we didn't want debt any longer.
I didn't realize how easy investing could be.
I'm picking companies that I believe in.
I think SoFi Money is amazing.
Thank you, SoFi.
SoFi, thank you. We love you.
If you're interested in more Big East Conference volleyball this season, head on over to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The Al McGuire Center will host the Big East Volleyball Championship semifinals and finals coming up in another week here. These 2 teams, 2 of the 4, they've all clinched their spots in the championship. Alongside of them will be St. John's and Villanova. All 4 teams know that they're in. All 4 teams still battling for the seeding positions.
Yeah, between your Creighton and your Marquette trying to go after those 1 and 2 seeds in the tournament, as well as your Villanova and St. John going for that 3 and that 4 seed. You know, it's all on the line here tonight, and everybody, I'm sure, is watching close.
And Madeline Cole trying to keep the Golden Eagles from getting too close here tonight. On the line to start us off, Barber. Right to Zimmerman. Keely Davis off the block. The Jays continue their momentum here in set number 2.
The Jays are doing a really good job with their ball control. Defensively, they're doing a really good job with slowing that ball down on the block side, as well as getting really good defensive touches. Cole's doing a really good job of spreading that ball out, and the offense is doing a really good job of finding different shots that are going to score.
Creighton hitting .562 in set number 2 so far, and a 7-point lead to show for it. You better make it 8. Naomi Hickman and Annika Welty shutting down the attack for Marquette.
Welty's just doing a really good job of lining up with her hitter and just really getting her hands over the net, you know, and that's just something that is just a testament to Coach Booth and her staff of preparing and developing players, because if one man's down, it has to be the next one up.
And Welty, according to Coach Booth, was tremendous this spring for Creighton and led the coaching staff to expect big things from her this year. Now, the injury early in the season certainly derailed that a bit, but after coming back at just the right time now the last couple of matches to help replace Erica Kostelak. She's really been impactful in this match tonight.
Yeah, especially in this atmosphere, which is not easy to do. She's doing a really good job for the Blue Jays.
Hickman tried to go with the left down the net and came up a little bit short.
And I won't be surprised to see Cole go back to Hickman. I don't disagree with her trying to find her middle. I just think she put her a little bit too tight. So if you're Cole, if you're going to get a good pass, I wouldn't be surprised if she used her middles again.
Into the body of Zimmerman on the serve, but the Jays able to get a swing off. Davis unable to get it over that pesky net. Then back-to-back points for Creighton.
2 missed opportunities, and Coach Booth is going to have a quick chat with them as they call a timeout, just to make sure that they're making sure that they're paying attention to the details and they're checked into work.
And defensively, 3 blocks for the Jays in this set, holding Marquette to 100 hitting. And that's been a major factor, obviously, in the lack of rhythm that the Golden Eagles have been able to showcase in set number 2, unlike what we saw in the first.
Yeah, and I would attribute that to Creighton serving. I think they're doing a really good job of keeping the Golden Eagles out of system on serve receive, so they're not getting your first ball kills. I mean, if you're on serve receive and you're able to get your first ball kills, or if you're able to, send a ball over that's going to take Creighton out of system and then give another opportunity to a Barber, and those are just things that you cannot have if you're Creighton, and I think they're doing a really good job of keeping them out of system on that first ball.
And if you're Marquette here in Omaha, you win set number 1, you feel like maybe you're playing with house money here a little bit in set number 2, so not a ton of pressure on them at this moment. Once they got down by 8 there, it's kind of like, hey, let's throw it out the window and go 100% and see what happens here, and they've been able to chip away the last few points.
Yeah, they've done a really good job of finding a way to get back into this set by just chipping away, and you're trying to hold Creighton to under 20, and finding a way to get on a run is something that you're going to want to see if you're Coach Tice.
Back to serve is Vandenberg for the Golden Eagles. Pops it to Keely Davis. And Keely on the swing now off the block. The freshman continues to impress. Kill number 10 on the night.
Yeah, and that was just a ball that I don't know if Madeline could have put that any tighter between, the antenna. I mean, she snuck that in there pretty tight for Keely to be able to find a tool on that right side.
Davis back to the line now again. Speckman puts it up for Barber, who's forced to go soft. Davis from the back row now off the block. Speckman keeps it alive. Showing off the range. Barber, great effort by Davis to keep it alive. If Keely Davis is 1 inch shorter, that's a point for Barber. Off the block now, Zimmerman unable to put it down. Another long rally here. This one ends in a point for the Jays as Barber swings long.
And what I like to see there is the Jays were attacking zone 1 almost every single ball that they swung at. And so when you're attacking zone 1 against a Marquette team that runs a 6-2, you're taking your setter out of system. But when you're taking a setter out of system, when you have the quality hitter in Barber, she got 3 back-to-back swings, and that's just a lot. And that's where you see where that last swing went wide. That's just a lot of swings to be taken in one rally.
Great touch there by Brittany Witt to withstand the power. And showcasing that power to the back corner is Barber once again. She's had a lot of success attacking that part of the floor here tonight.
Yeah, just hitting that 5-6 seam. She's just, she's able to see that. She's able to sneak it in between their hands and just to be able to hit that seam, especially with her contact point being as high as it is.
Cole sets Hickman, who puts it right back down. A big swing for Naomi Hickman, and the Jays back in control here in set number 2.
Yeah, the middles that are on the floor tonight, they have such capabilities of really taking a game and running with it, especially, Hickman and Ballinger and even with Jones. And so I really think that the team that uses their middle is going to be a team that walks away with the win.
Kanavidov really in a tight spot there when defending Hickman right in the middle of the floor. Zimmerman now off the block and down once again. The Jays match their largest lead of the night, 3 points away from tying up the match.
Such an incredible up there by Cole to keep that ball in play, and then just a really smart swing to go at that high line and right at their setter, and just ended in a kill. Brittany
Witt toward the back line and long. Going for the jugular there, but unable to convert.
Yeah, the margin of error. I mean, that ball was inches from being either in or out. You know, and at this point, and at this point of the season, and with this high level of volleyball players, you can't just be serving the ball over and in. So, you know, definitely going at it with velocity is something that's important for both sides of the net.
Barber will serve, and she returns the service error. It's something that she hasn't been relied on throughout the season to do very much of. An opportunity there, just misses long.
Yeah, it does, and those are the unforced errors that you can't have if you're the Golden Eagles. You know, you definitely want to control those. But you see a lot of, I don't know if it's from the crowd, I don't know if it's Marquette feeling comfortable with their first set win, but you see Creighton is playing with a lot of energy on the floor, and Marquette is not really as vocal as they were in the first set.
Grace Nelson in and on the service line. Ballinger with a shot off the official's foot. It looked like there was contact, and now they'll give Creighton the point. Seemed to be clear contact there at the net.
Yeah, there was. I mean, that ball was out. It looks like Coach Tice is going to be a little bit upset with that one, but Hickman thought that she got the, Ballinger thought that she got the hand of their outside in Wirch. And even though that ball went wide, the other line judge called a tip, and it does look like she got her finger there.
Wirch still pleading her case that she had no touch on the play, to no avail. She'll get a chance to take out her aggression there. Cole with a great effort, but unable to keep her position at the net, and the Jays will have a chance to side out for set number 2 here.
Weird couple points there. I mean, you have the miscommunication of who touched the ball. Am I going to challenge? Am I not going to challenge? And then you have that weird double contact there by Cole.
Fans on their feet with the Let's Go Jays chant, and they'll have to wait one more point at least for Creighton to clinch the second set. Nice job on the back line there from Hope Wirch.
Yeah, going after it, being aggressive. That's something that you're going to want to see if you're Coach Tice.
The slow clap to build momentum for what they hope will be a Creighton win in the set, and Megan Ballinger delivers. Set number 2 goes to the home Blue Jays, and we're knotted up in the match here at Omaha. Great play there from the senior leader to send the Jays into the locker room at intermission here, all tied up.
Yeah, the energy on the floor from the Blue Jays is definitely what, you know, helped let them go out with the win in set 2. So if you're the Golden Eagles, you definitely want to, you know, come in with a little bit more energy.
So an opportunity for each team to gather itself, collect its breath, and come back with a vengeance in set number 3. Tied up here at DJ Sokol Arena. More on the Big East Digital Network is on the way.
When my time came to stop coaching, I was very fortunate that I didn't have to go cold turkey. I was able to start the Big East Conference, and we came across the sky like a meteor.
One recruiting year that they had that really turned everything around was the Ewan Mullen Pinckney recruiting year. It changed the face of Eastern basketball probably forever.
We just believed in ourselves, and a lot of hard work on everybody's part.
Every March, Madison Square Garden is home to everything that is college basketball.
Put on your red shoes and dance the blues.
What? How's the weather? Yeah. It's snowing out. It's a blizzard, but we ain't gonna stop.
brightly. There were questions early on about whether the Big East could withstand the test of reconfiguration. And I think if you were here, we've done that and more.
It's a monster league now. Last man standing, bring the flag. Tough to coach in, but great for spectators and great to play in. The march of the Big East goes on.
My parents never taught me anything about managing money.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
We just decided we didn't want debt any longer.
I didn't realize how easy investing could be.
I'm picking companies that I believe in.
I think SoFi Money is amazing.
Thank you, SoFi.
SoFi, thank you. We love you.
And the Creighton Blue Jays running back onto the floor after intermission here in Omaha. It's all tied up at 1 apiece. A dominant set from the Blue Jays in number 2, and they needed it after Marquette got off to a hot start here on the night. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the match so far. Brittany Witt and company hoping to make it 4 straight championships for their senior class coming into this one. 6 straight potentially overall on the line if they can pick up a win against the Golden Eagles, but Marquette was tough early on in set 1.
Yeah, they definitely came in set 1 with a lot of physicality. They did a great job behind the service line. 4 aces right now on the match, and they just did a really good job of controlling the tempo and the pace that they wanted to play with there in set 1.
Early on, some big swings from Jayla Zimmerman. She has 9 kills on the night, but then Allie Barber and Hope Ward, she really took over.
Yeah, they have. I mean, you have 4 phenomenal pins. When you're running a 6-2 like the Golden Eagles are, you have a very balanced offensive parity that they have, and then you have Barber who can just completely take over, and they weren't able to get them in the flow in set 2, and Creighton really took advantage of that.
Yeah, and Ballinger with the set point kill there in the second to put us at 1 apiece here, and Marquette trying to come into Creighton's house and pick up a win. The Jays at home have been tremendous in Big East Conference play. They haven't lost a regular season Big East home match since 2014. 43 straight wins here in the friendly confines. That's what's on the line tonight against the number 9 team in the country. Joust at the net there, almost down for Creighton, but unable to do so. Vandenberg now off the block and gets the Golden Eagles off to a good start in the third.
Yeah, just some balanced volleyball right there. I mean, both sides are doing a really good job of getting block touches. So it's just, finding a way to let those block touches land in a tool or in a deep seam, and that's exactly what she did there to find that deep corner 1.
Hickman a little bit off balance there on the slide play, and she's denied at the net. Another great effort by Vandenberg, who comes out hot for Marquette.
Yeah, and she, in set 1, she had a phenomenal performance and did a really good job with the Golden Eagles controlling the net defensively and offensively. So here in set 3, she's really going to want to continue to do what she's doing.
And they go back to the well there. The first time Madeline Cole's set was a little bit lower than Hickman was expecting. That time right on target as Hickman delivers a point for the Jays.
And whether if you're Hickman or if you're Ballinger, that's the 4th, kill there by Hickman, which ties both of them up at 4 apiece. And that's something that, Creighton's definitely going to want to keep doing is that offensive parity that Coach Booth has talked so much about, but also being able to keep your middles involved is going to be something that's important too.
Tough placement there for Gwen Jones, but she's able to push it across the net for a point in what looked like an awkward situation, an awkward attack for her.
Yeah, I mean, that ball was definitely, not only was it tight, but I don't think it could have sailed any closer to that pin before she contacted it without it going out of bounds.
Zimmerman from the back row. Long, but a point for the Jays off the tip at the net. So Zimmerman with 10 kills now to match Keely Davis for the Jays lead, hitting .231 on the night. She and Davis have been spectacular so far.
Yeah, that pair has done a really good job tonight. They've had a wonderful, showing at the net of just finding a bunch of different angles, a bunch of different range, and that's what, I think Coach Booth talked with Davis, being a redshirt freshman, being able to learn from Clothan winners last year and finding different range. She spoke both about Zimmerman and Davis and how, they both just do a really good job of having a wide range arsenal.
And speaking of which, Keely Davis puts an ace on the board to tie us up at 3 apiece. The freshman making an impact at the net and at the line.
I really like to see that both sides of the net are just going after it. I mean, they're not playing it safe. You're not seeing a lot of tips. You're seeing really aggressive serves. You're seeing really aggressive swings on both sides of the net.
And Coach Booth talked earlier this week about how that mentality was important to instill in her girls. You're not going to remember a roll shot or a tip when you're going for the win in a set point. You're going to remember the big swings you took and whether you connected or not. So that's what she wanted to really have her team think about coming into this match, and especially after dropping the first set. You can see that mentality starting to come alive for the Jays as they've been able to rebound here.
Yeah, and I think too with anything, you have to be able to come out and not play it safe, like you said. And you have to find a way to, know what's going to work, and it's just too easy to defend those tips and roll shots. There's one thing to do it in a long rally, but right away, especially your first ball kills, you got to be going for a swing.
And the 5th service ace of the match for Marquette evens things up. A big serve there from Lauren Speckman, who's been solid throughout the match for the Golden Eagles.
They've been really hard, just really tough behind the service line, just going after those seams and just really doing that with velocity. That's just really helped Marquette get some easy points, and the margin of error right now is something that's so key.
Zimmerman with the tip, off balance for the Jays. Now Davis from the back row. Tough placement there, but Speckman able to keep it alive. Wirtz unable to get a great swing at it, and Creighton will have to lob it over from Zimmerman. Another long rally here, kept alive once again at the scorers table. Brittany Witt to Keely Davis, and we play on. Orff with the tip. Now Allie Barber misses long, and a point goes to the Jays.
Another really great rally by both sides of the net. Just really great composure on defense and on offense to keep that ball alive and to be able to, match up with your blocking assignments. And these balls are just missing just wide. But you're seeing, 3 coaches on the Marquette bench upset a little bit on some ball control contacts that they just feel like they are getting some, missed calls. So we're seeing a little bit of frustration by the Golden Eagles. And, with this matchup, you're going to have high emotions, but you don't want that to control your mentality.
Brittany Witt, speaking of mentality, at the service line now with 11 digs in the match, gives her 110 career matches where she's had at least 10 digs. That ties a program record. Kate Allman, her predecessor, previously held that record. Now the Marion grads will have to share it as the Jays get another point here. Another great effort from Annika Welty.
She's just doing a really good job of having great vision tonight. She's doing a great job of keeping the ball out in front of her. She's doing a great job of being able to find where she's going to score, which is just really huge for the Blue Jays.
So Creighton, for the time being, up 7-5. We'll have a challenge. So this point in jeopardy here as Kirsten Bernthal Booth addresses her squad. An interesting performance from Annika Welty, though. I know Coach Booth was uncertain how much she could rely on her young middle, given the lack of experience this season that she's had, but she's really stepped up and been able to deliver for Creighton so far.
And that she has. She's just done a really good job for them, and to be able to continue the offensive parity that the Blue Jays have had prior to her coming in the last couple matches was something that's really important, that you're not changing up any rhythm. And so for Welty to come in and do her job and to keep things flowing as they have is just something that's really important. I think what we're seeing here with the call, again, emotions are running high. typically your coaches are going to, if they're going to challenge a call, they usually rely on their players. Did you touch it? Did you see a touch? So I don't know if the players, are the ones that called for that, or if the coaches, are the ones that saw it from the sideline. And, sometimes it's hard with the camera angles and where they're actually seeing that. But it has to be conclusive to overturn it, and it doesn't look as if there's any spin or any contact on that ball.
And I think what you see here is maybe the net was already moving before Welty went up for the block attempt. And maybe Coach Tice thought that they made contact on their way down there in that block attempt as well. But as you can see on the replay there, the net was already in motion. So Coach Tice's challenge will not pay dividends this time. Witt back to the service line again with the Jays back up by 2. Barber short on her attack, and Creighton defensively stout as they take advantage of Barber's mishit.
Yeah, and that one, she's swinging from off of the net, and usually Barber is pretty effective whether she's in system or out of system, and I think on that one she was just on her way down and wasn't able to hit that angle.
Speckman with a tough set there. Barber this time just pops it over. Welty again off the hands. Punch toward the scorer's table, but kept alive. A nice job to keep it that way, and the Jays put another way. Megan Ballinger with another kill and a timeout by the Golden Eagles. Creighton in control in set number 3. A full house on hand to witness the biggest match in Big East Conference play this year. Ballinger puts Creighton in front in the 3rd. Back with more here on the Big East Digital Network next.
My parents never taught me anything about managing money.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
We just decided we didn't want debt any longer.
I didn't realize how easy investing could be.
I'm picking companies that I believe in.
I think SoFi Money is amazing.
Thank you, SoFi.
SoFi, thank you. We love you.
Stegosaurus drinking in the action here at Omaha as we return in set number 3. Megan Ballinger and company with plenty on the line tonight. They can clinch the number 1 seed in next week's Big East Championship, as well as at least a share of the Big East regular season title with the win here tonight against Marquette. They've beaten the Golden Eagles once this season. Marquette trying to bounce back after a timeout, and that's a good place to go. Allie Barber is a decent option there out of the timeout.
Yeah, she's a decent option, especially if she's in system. I mean, she's going to be able to terminate the ball wherever she wants to, and that's exactly what she did there.
Zimmerman with a big swing. Point for the Blue Jays.
What I really like to see on both sides of the net, and I attribute both Creighton and both Marquette. They are doing a great job defensively of finding a way, any way they can to get a touch on the ball defensively and save a teammate. And they're doing just a tremendous job of working together with that ball control.
Nice serve from Grace Nelson, and this one ends up as an ace. Big play for her, just cleared the net. The junior from Elkhorn, one of the most improved players on Creighton's roster if you talk to Coach Booth.
Yeah, she's done a really good job. I mean, this team has definitely needed those defensive players to come in and help, balance the floor, that they balance the floor with their offensive weapons, and she's done a good job for the Blue Jays this season in balancing that back row with Witt.
Nilsson with a line drive into the net that time, and Marquette will send Konovadoff back to the line. Already a couple of aces on the night here for her, but not this time. Big swing there, looking to go off the touch. Was Hope Wirch, but no luck at the net, and the Jays will take that point and run.
And I don't know what happened with Zimmerman. She got stunned a little. I don't know if it was that last play where it ended a little bit of an injury.
Yeah, visibly upset there as the coaching staff chat with her real quick here. And Creighton in good position, but it looked like she got a shot to the nose, maybe an elbow to the nose on that block opportunity there. You see another look at it here at the net. She'll be on the far left side as she goes up. It looked like Ballinger on their way down got her with maybe her left elbow. They were fine in midair, but it looked like Ballinger immediately, you can see her talking to her there. On her way down, she turns around. You see that left elbow of Ballinger getting her just across the top of the nose there. So Zimmerman, a tough cookie, a sophomore from Malcolm High School. She's been really good defensively for the Jays, and here's another look at it. Maybe a better option. You see that elbow from Ballinger coming down on Zimmerman's nose. It's not a good way to treat your teammate in a big match.
No, I mean, Ballinger was doing whatever she could to fill that block, and sometimes when you're filling that block and your body's floating that way, it's hard to control on your way down, and so it's tough if you're that pin blocker that's setting that up. I mean, you're kind of running in with a bulldozer.
Well, speaking of a bulldozer, Marquette has bulldozed its way through most of the regular season in Big East Conference play. They can also clinch a share of the Big East regular season championship with a win here tonight. They're going to finish up their regular season on the road at Providence. That's Sunday at noon to finish up the regular season. This Marquette squad has not won a regular season championship under head coach Ryan Tice. Their last was 2013. Tice took over the reins in 2014, and the squad has been unable to knock off the Creighton Blue Jays during his reign.
What a wonderful season they've had with 4 top 15 wins with Wisconsin, BYU, Florida, and USC. They've had a phenomenal season and a phenomenal run.
Kept alive for the Golden Eagles. Brittany Witt sets up Madeline Cole for the dump. Off the scorer's table here. Assist to Shannon Smolinski on the kill there for the Jays.
Oh, I was gonna attribute you for the block. I thought that was a good block setup. I thought you got your hands over.
Well, positioning. That's what it's all about.
I think so.
Now Ballinger knows a little bit about that. She continues to play well defensively as Keely Davis on cue delivers another stuff. The freshman helping Creighton double up Marquette in set number 3.
And helping Creighton is exactly what it says. I mean, Jones has been so successful in running that slide, and the outsides for Creighton have not been able to stop her, and Davis did a really good job of lining up with her and taking that line shot away.
Zimmerman just clears the net on her serve. Hope Wirch with authority, trying to light a spark here for the Golden Eagles in the third.
And I like that call there. I like that Speckman ran her out of the middle just to get a different look. I mean, they've just been so reliant on the outside pin. So anytime that they're able to just run something different, just to be able to hit different seams and angles, was something that I like that Marquette did there.
Nelson doing a nice job of handling the serve. Keely Davis misses just wide, trying to attack the boundary there, but unsuccessful.
Yeah, and I think, too, with Marquette, with what they're doing on the service line, if you're able to put a Creighton team out of system and get their middles not active, that's something that's really important. And I think Marquette has done a really good job of putting those pins out of system.
Davis again, this time believing she got the fingertips there, originally ruled long, and they'll challenge the tip at the net. So a big point here is they'll take a look at it. The team immediately turned around and said tip as Davis missed long, and after just missing a little bit long in her last swing, you wouldn't have expected that to be the case without the contact.
No, and like you said, this is a big point, very similar to what happened in set 2. I mean, it was a 15-10. It was a big point where it could have made it 14-11, and we have that same thing here. And it does. It looks like, she got Jones's left finger.
And that left hand is what you're looking at there.
And you're also looking for some spin. And even, you know, it looks like the height of it would have hit her left hand, but we don't see a whole ton of spin coming off of the ball. So, you know, it has to be conclusive for them to overturn it. So we'll see if there's enough footage for the Blue Jays to get that touch call.
Yeah, some great angles here. As you saw from the back, it was directly into that left hand. And then you see from the side, you see the angle right here. She did miss long, so she was going for the fingertips off the top there, but it really looks like it's almost impossible for her to miss that left hand of Gwen Jones.
And it doesn't surprise me. I mean, both teams have, you know, definitely used that as their, you know, main offensive weapon of what they wanted to attack. I mean, if that was something that the coaches said, okay, offensively, what are we trying to attack? It's going to be high hand. So that's why you're seeing a lot of that tonight. You're seeing a lot of those challenges, a lot of those, you know, balls that are just going wide because the girls are trying to go after each other's high hands because they have such physicality at the net that any way that you can find a mismatch to go off a hand is something that you're going to want to do.
Now, what you don't see from Gwen Jones is any finger movement backwards off of contact here. This might be the best angle to see it, and you don't see that hand or any of those fingers moving backwards with the force of the ball. So Marquette will maintain the point here. Creighton's challenge unsuccessful, and the Golden Eagles trying to dig their way back into this match here in set number 3. Sarah Rose has been effective at the service line for Marquette tonight, and again, Davis misses long.
Again, same thing, trying to go for those hands, and you know, the ball is just, you know, it's coming at them so fast, it's hard to see. If that ball doesn't go up or change directions, it's going to be hard for each team to get that call.
Zimmerman now keeps it alive as Davis puts one long again. So Keely Davis will need to alter her approach as she tries to regain form from that second set where she had 8 kills to lead the Jays in a win. Now Marquette gaining momentum here in Omaha. Serve off the shoulder there, looked like, if Grace Nelson couldn't get out of the way. A little indecisive with her body placement, and Kirsten Bernthal Booth frustrated. 1-point game here in Omaha. Nelson gets it up this time for Davis. Into the block. Ballinger now to the far side.
Ready, go.
Kept alive, Wurtz denied. Ballinger with a big block for the Jays, who maintain their lead.
Yeah, you're definitely, if you're the Jays and you have Barber out of the lineup in the front row, you're not going to want to give up the lead that you had put in place this set 3. And so being able to stop that run was important for the Jays. And if you're Marquette, you're trying to find a way to keep putting points on the board as we close out here midway through set 3.
Davis with the roll shot this time. Kuntz, the southpaw. Back to Madeline Cole for the point off the tip. And the Jays take over another point.
I don't think Madeline was going to try to rely on another joust opportunity. So she said, I'm just going to go for a swing, and that she did. And she was able to get that ball, see it out in front of her, swing, and let that ball go for a 2-0.
Gwen Jones denied at the net. The rebound came off her body while she was out of bounds. And just like that, Creighton takes over control. 2,504 fans here in Omaha, the 6th largest crowd in DJ Sokol Arena history, and they're on their feet here tonight as the Jays reclaim the lead against the Golden Eagles.
And they're going to need them. The Jays are going to need these fans to, you know, to help every little point, every little rally. The momentum and the energy is something that you can feel in this gym, and that's something that they're going to want to continue to do so that the Blue Jays can find a way to close out here set 3.
Both teams have been fantastic defensively in set number 3. -160 hitting for Marquette. No surprise that they trail in this set, but Creighton only hitting .095 after a dominant second set. And Shannon, what adjustments did they make defensively to cause Creighton some issues here in set number 3 after they looked so confident in the second.
You know, I don't know if it's as much as what Marquette is doing or what maybe Creighton is maybe missing some opportunities as well. I think what Marquette is doing is doing a great job of getting their block setups and being disciplined with their body, and they're not floating into the net or getting any, you know, weird setups there. And I think Creighton's trying to go after their hands, and they're just missing wide. So I would attribute Marquette being disciplined within their defensive setups and their block setups, and I would say that Creighton is just not being disciplined on seeing the hands that they're trying to go after.
Yeah, Marquette with just 3 blocks as a team in the match. Great serve there by McKenna Krause. Another big point for the Blue Jays as the true freshman comes in and makes an impact on back-to-back serves. Another one here now. Wirch with a big swing. Krause couldn't get over there, but gave it a good effort as Wirch would not be denied on that one.
Yeah, they've been really successful. Marquette is so balanced. They have those 4 hitters in their pins that are able to, you know, go on the outside and go on the right side, and on serve receive they'll run them out of the middle as well. And so I really like that they keep running that and that they keep finding those angles. It's just really smart there by their setters to keep doing that.
Davis denied on her kill opportunity, and Zimmerman keeps it alive. Madeline Cole with a good hustle. And Brittany Witt records the kill. Miscommunication by the Golden Eagles. And the senior Witt delivers a big point in a big moment this season as Brittany Witt's first kill.
And what a great up that was. What a great effort there by Cole and Nelson, and for Witt to see that all of those hitters were backed off the 10-foot line and to just dump it right in there for a kill. As a libero, you'll take it.
A big composure moment now for Marquette as they try to rally in set number 3. Point to the Jays here. Another violation, and Marquette becoming unraveled a little bit here late in set number 3.
And I don't disagree with the call. You know, typically what you see there is that the ball has to break the plane before the player can go over and put her hands over to block. And I think Marquette just got too far over the plane before the ball broke the plane. So I don't disagree with that call.
Cole into the net. Marquette salvages a point. So Coach Tice will try to rally the troops. Couple of substitutions as Quinn Jones and Martha Kanavadoff come out of the match. Gabby Martinez back to serve now in for the Golden Eagles. Couple of aces on the season. Going short, and it's successful, setting up Marquette off the overpass. Off the block now is Vandenberg for a kill.
Yeah, again, Vandenberg has just been really good. Both her and Wirch do just a great job of balancing the floor around Barber. What I really like with her is that she has, you know, vision that far exceeds her being a freshman.
Martinez serves hard this time. Jays are able to keep it alive. Kuntz denied at the net. Keely Davis once again showing off that athleticism and rewarded with a trip to the service line.
And the 9th block there for Creighton. I mean, blocking is just such a big momentum change. And so I think Creighton's doing a really good job of finding a way to take away those angles. And, you know, blocking is just something that is just so important to both these teams tonight.
Vandenberg with a big swing to get Marquette back in the scoring column. A big moment there for her to step up. An important time for Marquette now as they step back to the line and need a run to try to get back into this set.
Yeah, that ball was set really far to the pin, but she was able to see that she had a seam there, and for her to go after it, not playing it safe, is something that you have to be doing here in set 3.
Zimmerman showing off the savvy on the roll shot. Big point for her. 12 kills now in the match. And the Jays in control in set 3. Witt back to serve now. Opportunity for Barber. Kept alive now. Zimmerman gets it over the net. Marquette with a chance to terminate. Barber dug by Witt once again. Zimmerman with a big swing off the block, and Creighton scores. They're within 2 of taking the lead in this match. And Jayla Zimmerman, a big reason why.
Oh, for sure. She's just done a really good job tonight of being able to find off-speed roll shots, high hands, hard high line shots. She's just doing a really good job of balancing the floor offensively for Creighton tonight.
Went to serve again. Barber with a big shot. Going short that time. Great angle there, and one that really only she can deliver when she's got that kind of height.
Yeah, and I think we talked to, learning and making adjustments, and I think what she realized in that last rally, the rally before the kill, is I can't swing at wit. She's going to find a way to keep it up, so I can't just go cross court. I have to find that hard angle.
And no angle that time for Megan Ballinger as Madeline Cole was forced to run cross court to keep it alive. Ballinger didn't have a place to put that across the pin.
You hear the crowd erupting to try to slow down a run here that Marquette's putting on.
Cole to Welty, again down. The sophomore brings it to set point in the third. 24-19 Creighton.
And
another great effort.
What a really smart choice by Madeline Cole. If I'm Marquette, I'm thinking for sure that she's going to find Zimmerman there, and for her to trust Welty to put that ball away is just a really smart choice by Cole.
The crowd on its feet here in Omaha. Barber dug again by Witt. Cole to Davis from the back row, but long. They'll call the tip.
Yep.
And the Jays take set number 3, 25-19. They've won back-to-back sets. And the home crowd is delighted as Keely Davis puts it away in the third. Big swing for the freshman and a big moment in the match. Creighton in front 2-1. Back with more here in Omaha after this.
My parents never taught me anything about managing money.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
We just decided we didn't want debt any longer.
I didn't realize how easy investing could be.
I'm picking companies that I believe in.
I think SoFi money is amazing.
Thank you, SoFi.
SoFi, thank you. We love you.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
I felt like I was going to spend my whole adult life paying this off.
Thanks to SoFi, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
As of 12 p.m. today, I am debt-free.
We have no debt, we don't owe anybody anything, and it's fantastic.
Hallelujah.
And this is just one night. You should see what we do during the day. Marquette University. Be the difference.
Here in Omaha, Nebraska, here's a look at your match statistics. The Blue Jays up 2-1, and that hitting percentage really tells the tale.
Yeah, that hitting percentage definitely tells the tale. To be able to hold such a great hitting team that Marquette is to .064 is definitely a tribute to Creighton's defense.
Yeah, Marquette with 6 aces. They've been really good from the service line, but 10 blocks now for the Blue Jays has really offset that and left the Golden Eagles out of system in some of those some of those opportunities that they really haven't been able to gain their footing on.
Yeah, those 10 blocks definitely jump off the page at you. If you're able to shut down a really good hitting team with a big blocking presence, it just changes the momentum. It takes different shots that, your offensive players are used to swinging at, and you're getting, Barber tipping and rolling. And if you can get those athletes tipping and roll shotting, that's when you know that you're able to control the momentum of the game.
Madeline Cole back to serve to start things off here in the fourth set. Big swing for Vandenberg. Looked like it was out of bounds, but off the touch. And a point for the Golden Eagles. Going back to their youngster there to start things off in the first.
Yep, and they've been really successful there, just being able to run that 2-ball out of serve receive with a one-on-one opportunity. They've been very successful, so we'll see what kind of adjustments they make coming in here, set 4.
Beckman to Barber, denied at the net. Annika Welty continues her breakout performance against the Golden Eagles.
And I talked earlier, I can't remember if it was in set 1 or set 2, her hands just do a really good job of getting over and taking away those angles.
Davis back to serve now for the Jays. Barber with another shot at it, denied once again. Hickman and Welty. A tough combo there in the middle for Creighton. A little tip shot there by Jayla Zimmerman once again. She continues to show off the versatility of her attacking game. She's shown a little bit of everything and had success with it throughout the night.
Yeah, her 14th kill of the night, and each one of those kills are in different spots of the floor, different speed, different ranges. She's just doing a really good job tonight of balancing that out for the Blue Jays.
Madeline Cole with a big dig there to keep things alive for Creighton. Zimmerman now off the block again and down.
And like we had seen in set 2 with Keely Davis, Cole is going to find who that hot hitter is and try to find a way to keep, finding them and produce a gap and a run and a margin, especially early here in set 4. You want to find a way to attack early and come out with a couple points to separate the margin. That's huge.
Yeah, Zimmerman, certainly a fan favorite here in the state of Nebraska, the Gatorade Player of the Year in 2017 out of Malcolm High School. Holds records in just about every kill category in the program and leading the way here for Creighton tonight. Davis on the dig now as Hickman gets a swing in the middle. Wirch unsuccessful as well. Zimmerman against the double block, unable to get it over the net.
Yeah, that one I think she just caught on her way down. It's just a hard ball to do when you're set inside, knowing that you're going to have 4 hands. You want to try to find a way to tool, but if you're hitting on your way down, that's going to be hard to find those ranges.
Welty to the back line and down. Great placement. The first time we've seen her attack that area on the floor here tonight.
And for her, she's not only doing a great job tonight for the Blue Jays, but there is her 7th kill, and that is her career high. No better time to do it than tonight here against the 9th seeded team in Marquette.
And that's part of the uncertainty with the scouting report. These two teams know each other so well, and Welty kind of comes in as the X factor in this match. Creighton shuffling its lineup a bit to make up for the loss of one of its better players. And Welty just slides in and casually hits 700 against the number 9 team in the country.
Yeah, happy for her to be able to do that. It's not something that's easy to do in this atmosphere. And, like you said with the scouting reports, both coaches, you just don't know. If you're Coach Booth, you don't know what you're going to get out of Welty. And if you're Coach Tice, you don't know what that's going to look like as well. So that was definitely a factor here tonight, and it's definitely working here for the Blue Jays.
Back to service, Sarah Rose. Once again here for the Golden Eagles. She's been consistent across the board. 9 digs, 13 assists tonight for number 4. Welty again, this time off the block with a touch and another kill.
Just finding a way to create a point for her team is something that she's done tonight. She's done it on blocking, she's done it on hitting, and just like Zimmerman, she's found a way to do it in multiple different facets, whether it's tipping, whether it's tooling, or whether it's getting clean swings.
Slide play there, big swing by Jones. Zimmerman long, unable to put it away. Back corner now. Zimmerman clapping for it. Cole finds her, but unable to finish. Wirtz does just that.
She's been great for the Golden Eagles tonight. Just, going in and getting her 8th kill. She's just one that's not going to be scared to go after it, and that's exactly what she saw there. Even though she was in system, she was put a little bit tight. She was not scared to go after those hands that were in front of her.
Goes after the ace. This time sails long on her, and the Jays regain the point.
Yeah, here in set 4, whoever's able to control the unforced errors is going to be key. So if you're the Golden Eagles, you're going to want to try to, behind the service line, not have any more of those missed opportunities.
Vandenberg, really good with her angles here tonight. Ballinger a little bit better for the Jays. Nice touch there for the middle.
The amount of digs on both sides of the court, I mean, it is definitely, tonight has been just a defensive showcase for both teams of getting these touches. It's been very impressive on both sides of the net.
Zimmerman back to serve again. Goes short. Vandenberg doing a nice job of keeping it up. Cole with the block, but out of bounds.
Yeah, and just like we saw in Wirtz, Vandenberg does a great job as well on the outside of, seeing that even if I have 2 hands or even 4 hands, I'm not going to be scared to go after it. And right now, that's something that, especially if you're getting that first contact, you have to be able to go after it.
Dump set for Madeline Cole. Scary moment there off the net, but breathing a sigh of relief with a big smile there after Creighton picks up another one.
That's a hard play to make if you're Cole. I mean, when you're that far off of the net, that's hard to do a setter dump with a one hand when you're that far off of the net. And she caught the tape and was able to get that one-on-one kill.
The crafty veteran doing it defensively this time. Cole has been fantastic, and a resounding applause here from the 2,500 attendance at DJ Sokol Arena. The Jays in control now, 10-6 here in set number 4. Timeout for the Golden Eagles, and we'll be back with more after this.
My parents never taught me anything about managing money.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
We just decided we didn't want debt any longer.
I didn't realize how easy investing could be.
I'm picking companies that I believe in.
I think SoFi money is amazing.
Thank you, SoFi.
SoFi, thank you. We love you.
Hallelujah.
And this is just one night. You should see what we do during the day. Marquette University. Be the difference.
Here in Omaha, Jayla Zimmerman putting on a show for the Jays. 15 kills so far tonight. Her career high is 16. So a big performance and a big moment for the sophomore. And Madeline Cole continues her role as the Jays pick up another one on the dump set.
The Jays tonight are doing a really good job of balancing the floor. Every single one of their players is stepping up in all types of ways, whether it's defense, whether it's serving, whether it's serve receive. They're just doing a really good job of doing their job.
And Cole has been fantastic for the Jays since transferring to Creighton from Marshall in 2018. She's a preseason All-Big East player, led the conference with assists last year. And just 37 shy of 1,000 assists for back-to-back seasons coming into the night. And she's gone past that with 42 tonight. So congratulations to her. A tremendous couple of years here for the Jays. And a tremendous swing once again from Vandenberg. She's not letting up in set 4.
she's not letting up, and she's not looking like a freshman. I mean, she's doing a tremendous job, and she'll be a great player for Marquette, not only throughout this match and throughout the season, but even further into her career.
That long, lanky arm path just delivers a lot of heat on the ball. Didn't need the heat that time for the Jays. They pick up another point, but Marquette now, as they try to pick up the pieces here and salvage this match on the road, they haven't been afraid. They've knocked off number 4 Wisconsin. They've knocked off number 13 BYU on the road. They've been in these situations. How do they turn the tide here against a vicious home crowd at Creighton?
And that's a great question. I think what you're trying to do if you're down and you're trying to find a win or trying to find a way to score points, you're trying to go after mismatches. And tonight the Blue Jays have no mismatches. I mean, the middles are doing their job when they need to do their job. You have Annika Welty, who has not been on the floor a lot this season, and she's doing her job. You have Madeline Cold. You know, every single one of them, there's so much balance that if you are the opponent on the other side of the net, it's just really frustrating because it's just going to be really hard to find those mismatched opportunities.
It's such a tough thing to do when you're trying to knock off the incumbent in Creighton after 5 straight Big East Conference regular season championships and postseason championships. The toughest thing to do is go into their gym and take it from them. They aren't going to give it to you. They've known how to win these matches 6 straight against you. And maybe that mental part of things comes into play here when you're on the road, hostile environment, and needing to scrape together a rally here to stay in this thing.
And when you're trying to scrape together a rally, you know, that's definitely something that, you know, when you're playing a team that has been there before and that has gotten the victory last time, you know, just to try to keep going after it and to try to keep the pedal on the, you know, floor and going after it is tough to do when you're going against a Creighton team that has the balance and the teamwork. I mean, there is just so much teamwork that we are seeing tonight, and the balance is it's just really fun to watch.
Zimmerman matching her career high there with that kill, and Creighton in control in set number 4. The fans are loving it.
Yeah, I think if you're Marquette, when you're going into this matchup, when you have the 5-set match that you had at Marquette last time, you know, you learn from that and you're ready to go and get that matchup again. But when you go into this environment and it's a completely different team, you know, that's just something that's really hard to do. So you have to credit Creighton, you know, to go out there and not only for your players like Welty and Nelson to step up in those big roles, but you have to credit Zimmerman and Davis, who, you know, they're used to sharing some of that parity with Kostelak, and now they know that they have to step up a little bit bigger, and they've definitely done that tonight with 16 kills and 12 kills. I mean, they've definitely done a good job of stepping up.
Well, you see the Creighton huddle there, the wheels almost about to fall off here for Marquette. You can feel it in the gym and you can see it in the stat sheet. 588 hitting for Creighton in set number 4. Marquette hanging on right now. How do they turn the tide, try to stymie some of this momentum, because it feels like Creighton is ready to pull away?
Yeah, and we talked about this earlier. Defensively, you have to be in the mindset to go after it with grit. So defensively, whether it be on block touches, whether it be going after it for, you know, seam balls and just being able to just lay your body out. We just haven't seen a whole ton of that from Marquette today.
Witt sets up Welty cross court. Kept alive now, a tip for Barber. Witt will man the controls once again. Zimmerman with the kill off the block, a new career high for the sophomore. And Creighton extends its lead to 9 in this potentially decisive 4th set.
I mean, to be able, I mean, that's just how the night's going for Zimmerman, to be able to have that ball be so far outside the pin and still be able to tool, you know, her blockers is incredible.
Hickman unable on the dive to keep it alive there. You saw that long arm trying to go Gumby on the ball and keep it up, but unable to do so. Jayla Zimmerman a little bit too close.
Like a go-go gadget.
That's
almost
right.
Like, yeah, like a go-go gadget arm.
She needed to tell a few more lies to get that Pinocchio nose out there and keep it up. Brittany Witt now to the back line. And Creighton with an opportunity with one of its better servers on the line here to make a run and try to put this thing away. Nice job by Vandenberg to keep it alive, and Wirtz with the swing off the tip. And Wirtz is so competitive, so feisty. You've seen that edge and that well-rounded play from her all night. She isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, she's not going to go anywhere, and she's been so successful on that 2-ball, and she's been so successful for their team out of the back row as well, because she just has such a wide range in her arm swing to be able to hit those angle shots.
Welty again off the touch. Nice job by Konovadoff to keep it alive. Whitnow sets up Cole for Zimmerman. Cross court into the body of Konovadoff. Able to keep it alive though. The power on display. Ballinger with the tip, unable to terminate. Wirtz now to the back corner. Great placement as Marquette tries to fight its way back into this set.
And fighting is exactly what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to claw back inch by inch, point by point, and that all starts with the defense. I mean, and that's what we saw there in that last rally is, you know, they were really doing a good job defensively of getting touches on the ball, and that's what they're going to have to continue to do if they want to try to force this match into a 5th set.
Ballinger off the block for another kill, and Creighton sensing the light at the end of the tunnel here.
If you're Marquette, I mean, it's just so frustrating because, you know, they're doing a good job of those rallies, you know, trying to get defensive touches and laying their body out, but Creighton is just doing a really good job of finding a way to utilize those blockers' hands, and that's just been something that they've definitely used to their advantage the whole night.
Grace Nelson at the service line. Barber dug once again. She is just letting it rip, but not having much success. After the first 2 sets, Barber really unable to find that consistency. She's taken 43 swings, just 12 kills though tonight, hitting under 100, and that really is the key to success for Creighton coming into the night.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely going to need Barber to put a little bit more points on the board for the Golden Eagles if they wanted to come out of Omaha with a win tonight. But I'd also attribute that to the composure that Creighton is playing with. There's a lot of ball control. There's a lot of composure. There's a lot of trust. And that's something that they've, you know, done all season long. And so that ball control, that trust, but to be able to have the composure in this tight of a match is something that has been very impressive to see.
Zimmerman off the block once again, and the Jays inch closer to a win. Back to serve now is the sophomore. Tough spot there. Wirtz keeps it alive. Jones unable to tip it over. Dump from Madeline Cole is unsuccessful. Nice job defensively to regain position there for Marquette. Off the tip again for Ballinger, but no good. Vandenberg to the back corner off the tip, and a point for the Golden Eagles. She seems to be the answer that Marquette has been looking for. Whenever Creighton makes a run, they go back to the freshman, and she's been able to deliver.
Yeah, she's definitely been able to deliver. She's notched up, you know, 11 kills this match, and to be able to be, you know, up there with the double digits is something that, you know, they've known that she's their hot hitter today, and she's did a great job of stepping up in that role for her team.
Keely Davis with the tip. Nice job by Sarah Rose to get under it. Vandenberg a little short on the swing, and the Jays will make a couple of substitutions. Naomi Hickman in, and McKenna Krause back to the service line. Ballinger will come out now. Krause had a nice runner last time behind the line as well. Within 4 points of at least a share of the Big East regular season championship for the 6th straight year. Vandenberg stuffed by Cole.
And there's just another example of Cole doing whatever she can for her team. And I've, you know, whenever I've had the opportunity to watch her, I'm just always so impressed with just all the little details that she does. Not only does she distribute the ball to her teammates, but she just does a great job on all the other details as well.
Yeah, for her career, 4,000 career assists and more than 1,000 digs. Another double-double for her tonight, her 13th of the season. And she's really been fantastic with 5 blocks as well. That's part of the game that you don't necessarily expect a setter to be involved in, but Creighton has really been able to do that. Lydia Dimke and now Madeline Cole back to back.
Yeah, it's definitely important, especially at this level. Most teams are so reliant on their outsides, and so typically that's going to match up with your setter. So to be able to have a setter that can do that is huge.
Hickman on the slide play. Another kill for Creighton. Make it 7 for the middle blocker, and she has been at her best in the best competition so far this season. Coming in, hitting .447 in 6 matches against top 20 teams, well over 2 kills per set, and she continues to surpass that here tonight. Now 7 on 14 swings. Nothing doing for Allie Barber. Other side for Vandenberg, dug by Madeline Cole, but a nice job by Barber to regain her senses there and put one down short.
And that's something that, that we haven't seen a whole ton of Barber, of really just taking over the physicality that she can at the net. And so, for her to be able to find a way to chip away point by point and hold Creighton here at 23 is something that they're going to need more from her.
The Creighton Blue Jays up by 7, needing a side out here for match point. Cole cross court to Keely Davis into the middle. Nice job by Vandenberg to keep it alive. Allie Barber to the back corner, but long. So here we are. Set point in set number 4. Match point for the Blue Jays, and the fans on their feet here at DJ Sokol Arena. Keely Davis behind the service line. Good placement into the middle. Barber, nowhere to go. Brittany Whitten now for Jayla Zimmerman. Contact, but it's kept alive. Barber off the block. Another shot here, and putting it down is Hope Wirch. Match point number 2 on the way here. Martha Konovadoff on the service line. Madeline Cole to Naomi Hickman. Unable to finish it, but Annika Welty gets it over and continues the action. Great stop there by Marquette, but they can't deny it again. The Jays win set 4, 25-17, and for the first time in program history, Creighton knocks off a top 10 team at home. 3-1 your final score as the Blue Jays clinch a share of the Big East regular season championship for the 6th consecutive year. Doing it on their home floor at DJ Sokol Arena. Impressive performance, a dominant performance after dropping set number 1. They took over in sets 2 through 4 and finished it off. Now down courtside with the winning head coach, Kirsten Bernthal Booth, is our own Shannon Smolinski.
We're here with Coach Booth as she shares the 6th straight Big East title. Coach, how do you feel?
I'm just really pleased for these guys, and we had a lot of unknowns coming into this year, and we still have a really good DePaul team coming in on Sunday, but this was a big match, obviously a lot of hype behind it, and I'm just really proud of what they put together tonight.
The balance on the floor that you showed tonight with all of your hitters, especially one in Annika Welty who had a match high of 7. What can you say about the senior leadership and all the pieces that go into bringing that balance on the floor?
Well, I mean, as far as senior leadership, this group has just been incredible. They've been steady as we've been. If we get punched, they kind of rally the troops and they get them together. And then, one of our key things is we've got to have parity, which is a little different than what we were last year. And so I think Madeline's done a great job running our offense. And then it was fun to see Annika come in and do such a good job on a big stage. And, you and I talked about prior of, she's never been on this kind of stage. She just came back from an injury, so to have a great night against a phenomenal team, I'm really happy for her.
Well, I'll let you go celebrate your win with
Bernthal Booth. For the 2nd straight year, Marquette was picked to win the Big East regular season championship, and for the 2nd straight year, the Blue Jays spoiled the party. Creighton taking home the hardware here 6 straight years. The Blue Jays deserve to celebrate. They'll wrap up their season here at home against DePaul on Sunday. Marquette will travel to Providence to finish up their regular season as well. For Shannon Smolinski and everyone behind the scenes here on the Big East Digital Network, thanks for joining us tonight as the Blue Jays clinch a share of the Big East Conference regular season championship right here on the Big East Digital Network.